together again. Gee, it's good to be together again. I just can't imagine that you've ever been gone. It's not starting over, it's just going on.
Together again. Now we're here and there's no need remembering when. 'Cause no feeling feels like that feeling. Together again. Together again. Gee, it's good to be together again. I just can't imagine that you've ever been gone. It's not starting over, it's just going on. Together again. Again. Now we're here and there's no need remembering when. 'Cause no feeling feels like that feeling. Together up, together up, together up, together again. Together again.
Together again indeed. Thank you very much for being here with us in this very unusual start to a school year. We have an incredible school community, and I'm honored to be a part of yet another opening day here in the Fairport Central School District. I need to start off by saying thank you. I'm grateful for everyone. I'm grateful for the incredible efforts. There's such a resounding spirit that's very emblematic and unique to our Fairport community. And I'm proud to be a part of it. I'm proud to be serving in this community and supporting our families, our students, and our staff so we can achieve our vision of excellence. I would like to, in particular, say thank you to so many different people, and I hesitate to name them all, but there really is no way to have been able to move through this journey that started on March 14th, this very different journey that we all have our own autobiographical reference that changed your life, changed the people around you and their lives, and pretty much our world. I'm grateful for our incredible administration who at moment notice came to the forefront, and you've seen their leadership up close and personal. The ownership, the investment is second to none, and I'm proud to serve with all of you. To all of our educators out there, whether you were a lead teacher, a teacher leader, a paraprofessional, a union leader for the paraprofessionals, secretaries, food service, transportation, our technology team, our buildings and grounds, everybody has stepped up. Everybody has made intentional efforts to make a contribution from wherever they are serving. The service and duty and call to duty has been nothing short of inspirational and quite frankly humbling from where I'm sitting, because you don't get through what we've endured alone. You need a team, you need a family to rally around, to make sure that you're staying focused, that you're serving the vision and mission of what we're trying to accomplish here in our Fairport schools, and that is to meet students where they are, to serve the whole child and be our very best for them. I'd like to thank our district office staff. They showed up. We all experienced the benefits of their level of commitment. Payroll kept moving forward. Human resources, our business office, and of course my secretary, Christine Rawls, kept me focused and on task through this journey. And our communications team has been incredibly helpful in getting our message out in an organized fashion with clarity and purpose. I would have to say, that my wife Kimberly is usually by my side, and it's been different having her not here. And she sends her best, and she's thinking about all of us. But she's been my rock and foundation through this journey, and my beloved wife. She helped me stay centered and was through this journey with me every bit of the way. I would also say that our Board of Education has been with all of us every step of the way. Their unwavering commitment and passion for our children, knowing that every year is the most important year in a child's life, has been central to our closure and our reopening. And I would like to just express my gratitude to our Board of Education for their unwavering support and passion and commitment to the children, to our educators, and to our school community. Right now, I would like to introduce our board president, Mr. Peter Forsgren.
Thank you. Thank you, Brett, as well. Don't forget yourself, and I won't let you forget that. But good morning, and wow, here we are. And you know, we're together, we're a little older, a little wiser. My daughter might challenge me on that last part of that. But I've gained appreciation for a scripture passage that more or less says, right, don't worry about tomorrow. Sufficient for today are the challenges thereof. And indeed, that seems to apply, right? If we look back to January, February, and March, and we've said this before, I'm not sure any of us would have made a prediction that this is how our school year would start, need to start. And so I realized, yeah, my crystal ball for the future, even for our house for tomorrow, is not very good. And so I worry about today. What we do today will impact tomorrow. Indeed, we need to make plans for tomorrow and for 6 months. But what we do today and how we do it is really important in facing that. In each of my passing years as well, I gained an appreciation for the artists, the poets, the musicians, the authors, how well they capture humanity and share that with us in poetic or different types of ways. I'm not very well versed in them, and I don't have a lot of depth in the arts and areas. I'm trying to do that more and more in my life, but I'll show that by quoting an author that everybody knows, and perhaps not classical or anyway, but J.R.R. Tolkien, right? In his Lord of the Rings trilogy, he has Frodo lament that these were his days, that the ring ever came to him. He expresses even that he wishes, and this is what Gandalf the Grey responds with. He says, "So do all who live to see such times, but that is not for them to decide. All we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given to us." So it is with us today, right? In this unusual year, this unusual start, we have less than ideal situations. And I listened to a speaker several years ago who assured his audience that there wasn't a problem so big and a problem so bad that whining and complaining couldn't make it worse. And he's right. If we want to make this situation worse, we know how to do that, and we can be very successful. But that's not who we are, and so I'm not worried about that. But that is one of the concerns ever, that we get too caught up in the lamentation and wishing that things were otherwise. The other concern I think I have is that our sayings, when we say we're all in this together, that not become trite, that not constantly be passionate, that we are all in this together, that we're mindful that others may not always feel that way, right? As we go off to our jobs and our neighbor does not because he or she does not have one, they may not feel like we're in this together, or at least not equally. When people are hospitalized for cancer or sickness and otherwise and not able to have loved ones beside them, they may not feel that we're all in this together, or at least not equally. But we can be, and there's ways for us to do that, to be together. And we are. I am confident in human history as well. It's not pretty, and I can't apologize for it, or I'd like to in some ways. We have not been kind throughout the millennia, throughout the centuries to each other as human beings. It's been horrible, and even into modern times, we do not treat each other very well. But that's not the part of human history that I look at with confidence. What I look at with confidence is that humanity overcomes. Humanity progresses. Because we are adapters, we are survivors. We love, we grow, we accomplish, we progress. And so it is for us today. We can do this. We can be there for each other. Indeed, I ask that we be kind, as you always have been. That we be gracious. That we be forgiving. That some people will have a bad day, and we recognize that we can be there when we are strong. And when I am weak, I might look to you for some of that strength, that we can be there for each other. We can believe in each other. So we can do this. We need to do this, though. We must do this. There are so many youth and children who depend on us to do this and do it well as we start the school year. And I want the audience to know that I am speaking about everybody, right? I am speaking about our transportation folks and our buildings and grounds and our paras and clericals and admin and our teachers, everyone. The other day as I was leaving my house to go to work, on my street I passed a school bus. And I turned the corner and I passed a second one, and I was so excited I had to grab my phone and talk to it and say, "Siri, text Brett." I see buses out here, they're practicing the route, and it was great because it had been so long since I saw yellow school buses on the road. It really brought me a sense of joy and excitement that I don't typically have, just because it's only been a couple months. This time it's been so long. And that passion to go out there and practice routes, to do it well, to prepare, emblematic of all of our staff, that you have shown a passion over the years, and with great confidence know that you will do it again. And so I want you to know that the Board of Education has your back. We are confident in you, we love you. We wish you the best in every effort, in every endeavor, in every interaction, as different as they might be this year. We wish you the best and welcome you to the start of this 2020-2021 school year. Thank you for showing up. Thank you, Brad.
Thank you, Mr. Forsgren, and thank you to our Board of Education. One thing that we are not afraid to say here in our Fairport Central Schools, and I believe that it makes us unique and it makes us special and it resonates throughout the entire community, is this concept of love. We're not afraid to say we love you. We're not afraid to say that we deeply care and have interest to make sure that you are the very best person so you could be the very best for our children. We welcomed a number of educators this past summer, 14 were at our orientation. I had the pleasure of meeting with them about a week and a half ago. Their hearts are directly aligned with our Fairport vision and high expectations to be the best for our children, to be critical friends and colleagues. And they're coming at a time when they're going to see and feel the Fairport spirit that runs deep throughout our staff and community. So I welcome our new educators. I also would like to welcome some familiar faces in new positions. We have a new line of administrators that have been leading throughout the summer. For those who know me, know that this is where I find my solace, and it's been extremely different and definitely a transition in my world, in my family's world, just like it has been in many of your worlds. Like I was saying, March 14th is really a day that will forever live in our hearts and minds and the journeys that we've all been on. But it wasn't just what happened on March 14th. It's since March 14th, the insidious coronavirus has plagued not only our nation but the world. And it's still something that's got us on our heels and constantly changing, and new information, and what's true one moment isn't true the next moment, right? And it's been like that since March 14th. But on top of what we've been experiencing with the virus, there's been economic collapse. The governor has spoken about 20% withholdings, which is coming true to form. We know that the social emotional needs of our students were severely impacted by our closure. They lost rhythm and pace to their day. They lost rites of passages, graduations, concerts, performances, athletic performances, and just being around their friends. That had a toll on our children. We also know that from a nutritional standpoint, students need to be to school. They depend on our food services. Adverse childhood experiences increased significantly. We know that domestic violence increased, and our students were exposed to all of that by being in quarantine. Another piece that has come up from the COVID quarantine has been the social unrest. We've seen this up close and personal. We've seen to this day what's happening in our communities, the split and division, this idea of treating each other with love and kindness and brotherhood and sisterhood. After 400 years, we're still grappling with race and race relations. We need to continually immerse ourselves in this conversation, be leaders in this conversation, because it's impacting our kids, it's impacting our families. That's one thing that we learned. We also see the political landscape. It's alive and well. More than ever, there's distrust and anger and hatred. Social media has taken politics and made it an exponential event in our lives. Our students are seeing this. They're coming to our classrooms. All these factors. It's real. Let's embrace it all. let's lean into it, as we frequently say. Let's be comfortable with the uncomfortable, knowing that we're all in this together. And as Peter Forsgren said, let's not let those just be words. Let's live and help and support and love each other in all sorts of circumstances. So many questions, so many unanswered questions, so much anxiety, so much fear, and it's justified. It's going to be a different year. This year, we need to understand this is the context of our reality. And we're going to support each other in ways that we don't even know yet. A famous 18th century Russian composer by the name of Peter Tchaikovsky. He had over 50 well-known pieces. His familiar works included Fantasia, 1812 Overture, Romeo and Juliet, and The Nutcracker. It always wasn't perfect for him, though. He paid a deep price for his gift. The more immersed and driven he was in his writings and music, the more he withdrew from the public. The more depressed he became, the more the public withdrew from him. It was a vicious cycle of highs and lows and ebbs and flows. Ultimately, early in his career, he was not only suffering financially because he was just so sickly and depressed, but emotionally he kept falling deeper and deeper into personal desolation and despair. He was not able to share his gift and people weren't able to enjoy it. He was at the end of his line. Much to his and eventually the world's benefit, a wealthy widow took a delight and was inspired by his music. In 1876, he was once again suffering financially and was paralyzed with major bouts of depression. This individual wanted to support him and sustain him through his times. She made it clear that the money would be there. She would support him financially. She would sustain him through the years, just so he can compose his music. So from ages 36 to 53, that's exactly what he did. He kept on receiving a gift from this anonymous donor. They were financial gifts. He had no idea who it was until the time of his death. And we all benefited from the investments she made in him. Here's the analogy. Our caring community has the propensity to be our intangible and invisible source of strength to help us persevere in all circumstances. We all need this type of support at some point in our lives. We need to draw strength from each other together. Let's stand by each other, side by side. Let's lift each other up in all circumstances. Let's support those who may be struggling, who are confused, scared, anxious, and even angry. Let's be the lifeblood of support the wealthy widow was to Tchaikovsky, so that we can go on reassured, knowing that we are here together, helping each other in all kinds of weather. That's right, we will not give up on each other. We will stand alongside of each other so we can support each other and be the invisible friend to each other in all circumstances.
For 20 years, Asset Leaders have put their hearts into performing a sensational welcome back for staff. But we know the vid changed this year. No all-nighter, no opening activity. But students have shared lots of enthusiasm and excitement and confidence that putting our best foot forward, we can all be together again.
Hi everyone! Just as I'm sure you all are, I am so excited to get back to school and see everyone's faces in person again and not just over a Google Meet call. While I know we're all expecting this year to be different, I know that the hard work and efforts of our amazing staff and administrators will pay off. While suddenly going online in the spring left many students and teachers more than underprepared, I know that our reinvented idea of school will still make for a great year. If I had one piece of advice for everyone this year, I would say just to embrace the uniqueness of the situation we're in. There is nothing any of us can do right now but to try to find the sunshine in our heaping mess of a world. Try to put on a brave face and smile every day. I promise, even through the masks, we can tell, because you're never going to know who needs it. All of us need a shoulder to lean on this year, and that's why I believe that the idea of us being a Fairport family is more prevalent than ever. Our community is bound together so tightly, and we will come out of this stronger and more resilient than ever. I'm so excited for a great year, and I can't wait to see you all soon.
Hello to all Fairport staff. My name is Aiden Arena and I'm going into my junior year. I understand that these times are stressful and quite confusing. I actually have a family member in the Fairport district myself, and about every day I ask them questions about what's going to happen this upcoming school year. And many of these questions don't have definitive answers, and that's okay. Fairport is a district that has always chose the best staff so that when times like these come up, you guys can step up to the challenge, right? But it's also up to the students to fulfill the necessary steps to getting a full education. New teachers to Fairport, you got it lucky because this year all staff is doing something new and maybe uncomfortable. I think all students understand how hard these times are and how hard it is to put a school year together and are willing to cooperate. Keep in mind that these times are just as hard for students as staff. Overall, I want this year to be remembered as the crazy year that ended up going very well. Thanks, and I can't wait to see all your smiles even with those masks on.
Throughout our transition, I've talked about the 5 fundamentals. Probably much too much and more than you wanted to hear, but we've used our reopening plans. It's been guided by guidance and recommended best practices. We've had incredible partners along the way. We've continually sought feedback in new ways. We've also spoken about the social emotional needs of our students and staff, the academic needs, curriculum management, and educational programming expectations as we transition back. And there's many logistics and operations that need to occur across our organization in a consistent manner. And we will be monitoring and adjusting our plans as we move forward. What we learn about today doesn't necessarily mean what we're going to be doing tomorrow in this ever-changing environment. Our onboarding or our orientation days are grounded in 3 principles: communication, collaboration, and consistency. On Wednesday, September 2nd, you'll be focusing in on site logistics, health and safety, PPE protocols. On September 3rd and 8th, educational programming and curriculum management will be a central component to the onboarding. The last day, last but not least, the social emotional well-being of our students and staff is a priority, and that last day before the kids come in, we'll be sharing how we're going to support students and always asking how we could support staff. Love lifts us up where we belong is the name of this tune that Bill Tiberial shared with me last week, and it's his gift to us.
Thank you.